Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. I'm barely able to smile. This is a game of chances and a game of moments. Only the most ruthless and the most merciless survive here. This Champions League is nothing more than a jungle, and the strikers here, the attackers here, are so much bloodthirsty that they never have any remorse. You have seen that with what Royce has done. One chance. How many chances did Dortmund have today? I can recall Haaland had one which Edison saved well, and then Royce had another. Okay, Jude Bellingham, that goal, it is fine. Uh, that was an error by the referee. But then two chances Dortmund had, and Royce scores a beauty. It was an excellent finish from Marco Royce. So that is the level, that is a ruthless level which Pep Guardiola was talking about, which we were talking about on this channel in the build up to this game. After the second goal went in, I was like, I was real tense. Just imagine going 1-1 is a so much tense score line to take to the second leg. If suppose it had finished 1-1 with the opposition knowing that you have to score, so they can sit back and hit you on the counter, especially with someone like a Haaland, Royce, Jadon Sancho might be back to that game. It was just a terrifying prospect. And also with Foden missing all those chances, what Foden had almost three one-on-ones in the second half. I mean, he was cutting in really well. He was doing those skill moves really well, but his end product was not there. I was like, will these chances come to haunt us? Will these chances come to haunt us? Foden was creating all those chances, and he was not just putting them off. And they came to haunt us. I would say yes, we are 2-1 up. It just edges us above Dortmund, but then again, in the second leg, will Dortmund keep a clean sheet in the second leg, seeing their Bundesliga record and all? I'm not so sure, but again, like Pep said in the build up to this game, all the records and everything go out of this window, and it was so and it was so much right. Dortmund were so good today. I mean, this is one of the most competitive matches City faced all season, I would say. Yes, we lost against United, but that was just like United sitting back and hitting us on the break. But this was Dortmund played through our press. Dortmund played with courage. I appreciate them for that. And but also, I appreciate City for coming back. 83rd minute, the opposition score an away goal. What is your response? Right away on the front foot, Kevin De Bruyne catches hold of the match. Gundogan catches hold of the midfield. Rodri is now much more stiffer in the midfield. Is much more concentrating in the midfield. And De Bruyne, the vision to find Gundogan for the second goal was just immaculate. Again, he should not be allowed to have that vision. No one in football should be allowed to have that vision. What an outrageous pass that was. And Gundogan, neatly slots it to Phil Foden, and he kept his composure. How many times have we seen Raheem Sterling in the same positions as Phil Foden? Scruff chances, but not Phil. He just slots it into the back of the net. So it was 2-1. City have just edged it, but still the second leg will be really interesting. We could have just made it much more, simpler for us. But then, that is what is the beauty of this competition. When you go far in this competition, facing the trials and tribulations and those tense moments, those nervy chances, those moments which allow you to show your character, when you go far in the competition, having faced all these chances, I think that is when you really become um, that is when you really become capable of facing those tense situations in the next rounds, in the semi-finals and the final. That is where your possibilities become even more. You could have an easy quarter-final, an easy match, and then in the semi-final you could suddenly be faced with a tough situation. You're one goal or two goals down early on, two away goals down early on against a Bayern Munich or a PSG. What do you do? So there's a lot to learn and take away from this performance, I would say. Let's quickly discuss the player ratings and what the players have done. Let's go with Ederson first. For me, Ederson, really saved us today. Great save from Erling Haaland when Haaland went one-on-one. He made one or two excellent saves in the first half as well. One from Jude Bellingham, though the referee denied Jude Bellingham a goal because of foul on Ederson, but that's up to referee. We got some tough decisions from the referee in the last 16 matches in the previous seasons against Spurs, for example, when it was a clear handball, we were not given that. So the rub of the green, the referee decisions go this way or that way, so I'm not so much bothered whatever people have to say about that. But Ederson was really quick coming off his line. Yes, his first touch was not good on one occasion, just on one occasion, that's all. Other than that, he was quick off his line. He was very proactive in reading the game, and that save from Haaland was excellent. It was important. Remember, had Dortmund got two away goals in this game, it would have been a hard, rocky climb, because knowing Dortmund will probably have Jadon Sancho in the next match, having two away goals means that they can sit back and hit you on the break in the next round. So I mean, it was really important that City kept a clean sheet. But okay, one goal we conceded. That's fine. That was good due to a great piece of play from Marco Reus. But that's fine. Overall, Ederson had a really stable game. That he couldn't have done much about that goal. Kyle Walker for me was excellent in the one-on-one duels. Got forward two or three times, not much. You can see in the heat map there, mostly hung on in that hung on the center line area. Was keeping an eye on Marco Reus and also on Erling Haaland if his center back needed him. So he was more concentrated towards the defensive side of the game. But whenever he went forward, the runs were really good, I would say. He has to venture forward more often. But then you can understand with someone like Erling Haaland, the physicality. I mean, we have seen Ruben Diaz today floored by Erling Haaland. So you can really tell about the physicality of that man, physicality of Erling Haaland. He's a beast. And Kyle Walker is the only one in this team who can deal physically one-on-one against Haaland. He can shoulder barge Erling Haaland. Kyle Walker is the only one. I think that's why Pep really told him to hang back. One-on-one defending was always there, was always excellent. Never afraid to make a challenge one-on-one in the box. John Stones for me, John Stones. I mean, he was not tested that much by Haaland. Haaland didn't have much service. I mean, that was down to the excellent interceptions made by John Stones. John Stones, yes, he put Ederson under pressure once, but overall he had quite a stable game. Unlike the ratings here suggest, obviously these are not my ratings. So John Stones had a stable game according to me. He went forward really well in the second half. He went forward once or twice. He really split through Dortmund's midfield. He carried the ball through when Rodri especially was really struggling in this game. Rodri had a outright struggle in this game. John Stones played his passes well. John Stones was really stable. I think of the two partners, John Stones was the one who was less nervy. John Stones was the one who was really stable. So that tells you a lot about how much John Stones has progressed this season. And then for me, Ruben Diaz. If you look at Ruben Diaz, Ruben Diaz, he Ruben Diaz for me, he didn't have such a good game. Ruben Diaz is, he was physically caught out in this game. Erling Haaland, in a way, really had him in his pocket. Is it Ruben Diaz's mistake? I think all of the centre backs which Haaland has faced this season, Ruben Diaz has, sorry, Haaland has had all of those centre backs in his pocket. So I think Haaland for me will be the buy of this season. There's no doubt that so many of the clubs are after Erling Haaland. So Haaland will be the buy of the season for me. But then one thing about Ruben Diaz is I've never seen him so much shaky. I've never seen him so much nervy in a game. He misplaced a couple of passes. He was not reading the game well. Physically, he was not there. The organization was missing a bit. John Stones was organizing. I think it is from his side that goal came, which Marco Reus scored from a reverse pass from Erling Haaland. So Ruben Diaz didn't have a good game according to me. And then let's come to Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo, interestingly, Joe Cancelo was never seen in this game. If you did not show me the score sheet, I would not know that Joe Cancelo was there. Nothing much attacking wise came from his side, but also nothing much defensive also came from his side. Dortmund was attacking from the side of Kyle Walker. Joe Cancelo could not go into the midfield because the midfield was kept compact, I mean, the Dortmund coach, it seems that he has taken a cue from Carlo Ancelotti's book. What did Carlo Ancelotti say? Carlo Ancelotti said to deal with City's fullbacks coming inside. For example, Joao Cancelo stepping inside, you have to make the midfield compact. Though Everton, I think 2 weeks back before the international break, didn't do that. Dortmund really showed how to play against a fullback stepping in. They really compacted the midfield, and Jude Bellingham was excellent for Dortmund in that midfield. And Cancelo didn't get a chance to step into the midfield. I, he never, I didn't see him in stepping into the midfield. I think it was just once or twice, and that too he couldn't influence the game. So Joao Cancelo was totally played out of this game. Was it due to rustiness? Uh, or was it due to lack of rest from the international break? I don't quite know, but Joao Cancelo had a quite a poor game, I would say. Rodri had the worst game of everyone. uh, Rodri gave the ball away careless. I mean, forget about giving the ball away, kick the ball out twice. In our predicted lineup, it was the same which we discussed on this channel. What Pep picked today, the only difference was Rodri and Fernandinho. I picked personally Fernandinho in my predicted lineup before this match, and that's what I stand by. When Fernandinho would have been a much better fit for this game, and I doubt, and I think that for the second leg, Pep will play a double pivot. He will play all the cards close to his chest as much as possible. Pep will play a double pivot of Rodri and Fernandinho and play Kevin De Bruyne up front. That's what he should have done today, actually, because it worked out so well against Leicester. With Fernandinho there, he bosses the midfield. He shows the entire midfield who's the boss, and with people like Jude Bellingham, they're in that midfield, and Rafael Guerrera there in that midfield. You put Fernandinho in there, and you just dominate the midfield. It just shuts everything for the opposition. So I think we really missed Fernandinho for this game. Rodri was, I would say, useless today. Rodri didn't offer us anything, nothing, no forward passes today. He was playing those small 4-yard passes also wrong. He was making mistakes. It was just that Dortmund were not ruthless enough, and they didn't make us pay. Emre Can played one wrong pass in Dortmund's midfield, and City made Dortmund pay. And Rodri played 2-3 sloppy passes like what Emre Can did, but Dortmund never made us pay. So that is one thing I would say. We were a bit lucky. Let me share with you the rating screen. I have to show you something here. This is what always happens whenever I share this screen. It disappears. It refreshes. I don't know why. What's the reason? Now I have to search for it. Just it's not there. I think there's some there's some problem with the rating screen. Let us try to get it back again. Because there's something interesting that I have to show you, especially with the positions that were uh, that were taken up by Phil Foden. Okay, the rating screen somehow it is not working. So let us continue with this. So there's something interesting that I wanted to show you, especially with the positions of Phil Foden today. Phil Foden could not maintain his width as much as possible as Pep would have liked him to. Phil Foden drifted drifted inside quite a lot. Phil Foden was searching for the ball. This is what Pep Guardiola really didn't want. Pep Guardiola was saying always tells his players, you maintain the position and the ball comes to you, and that was what Phil Foden was not doing. Though Phil Foden was the brightest spark, I agree with you all, but with Phil Foden, dropping back more and more, the midfield became so much congested, and with the midfield becoming that much congested, Joao Cancelo didn't have space to come inside. That's what I really wanted to show you. So it meant that if one player didn't do his job, it's nothing to criticize Phil Foden, but it's just an observation on my part. So I think that is what made that midfield crowded and limited City's attacking prowess. Phil Foden for me is close to getting a man of the match, if not for the outrageous pass by De Bruyne at the end of the second half, and also his well taken goal. Phil Foden for me, he all the skills, all the tricks, he gets past his winger, and then what does he do? He fluffs his shot wide. I was just thinking, is this a curse for City? Whoever plays on the left wing, he just has to fluff his shot. There's nothing more that he can do. So Phil Foden for me, he didn't have his best game, but he held his nerve when it mattered. This is what we don't get from Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling doesn't hold his nerve when it matters. Raheem Sterling doesn't show that personality when it matters. Phil Foden missed 3 1-on-1s, and then as the clock ticked 90, he got a pass from Gundogan and he slotted it into the goal. It was very easy. He could have scuffed it out. No, he slotted it into the goal. That shows how much maturity this young man has, how far he has come through. So Phil Foden for me, very close to man of the match, and he was excellent again. Kevin De Bruyne ran the show. Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, the positions he took up is impossible to mark. Slots in between that defense and the midfield. Dortmund couldn't do anything for him. Started numerous counter attacks. Played Phil Foden in quite a few times. That pass, to unlock Dortmund's defense when they were playing it slowly in the last minutes, when they were taking the sting out of the game. Because remember, a 1-1 victory for, I mean, a 1-1 draw suited Dortmund. A 1-1 draw meant Dortmund had the edge, one away goal, and you never know. Dortmund could sit back and hit City on the counter with Haaland, with Sancho. Dortmund are devastating on the counter. So a 1-1 would have played it into his hands. City had to get the second goal today, or else it would have been really, really difficult. Again, we would have been in a position like we were at Spurs those 2 years ago, when we were 1-0 down from the first leg and without any away goals. And I think it really suits us playing the second leg away, because if we score one, Dortmund has to score two, especially when after we scored the second goal. So Riyad Mahrez for me was not at his sharpest best in terms of shooting, but again, Mahrez is someone who has really improved. He was finding players in space. That first goal, the patience to hold of the ball, and then find Kevin De Bruyne, that composure. Earlier, Mahrez would have looked to dribble inside, but not this Riyad Mahrez. This Riyad Mahrez is, he's just almost on the cusp of being nominated for the top 5 players in the Ballon d'Or. He's one of the best left-sided wingers in the Premier League right now. That's the stage he's at now. He's excellent. Riyad Mahrez is excellent. Has been excellent of late, I would say. And then Bernardo Silva, as usual, he doesn't get the assists, he doesn't get the goals, but then the work rate he offers. But do I think the false nine was really effective today? I don't know. The false nine was, I mean, I don't think so. Obviously, I know the false nine was not that effective today. You could see that's why Pep made that sub of bringing Gabriel Jesus on. And we were desperately looking out for a striker. I think Dortmund is a team where you don't need a false nine. You need a false nine against teams who probably sit back and try to hit us on the break. But Dortmund is a team that presses high and all of that stuff. And for that team, I think you can play normal 4-3-3, putting a striker like Aguero. Because if Aguero would have been there today, or Gabriel Jesus also, that sniff in the box, there were so many times that Foden flashed a ball across. Kevin De Bruyne flashed a ball across, Mahrez flashed a ball across. No one was attacking. It was just Aguero, eats all of those goals for breakfast. So that's what we missed today. Overall, I would say it was. Uh, we forgot talking about Gundogan. Gundogan today, again the midfield was so crowded that you could not really say. That there was one conductor in the midfield. Yes, Kevin De Bruyne was made those quick passes because of his vision, but other than that, there was no particular player who I could say dominated that midfield. That's why I really wanted Fernandinho over there. I, I'm really sure that Pep will go with a double pivot in Fernandinho and Rodri in the uh, in the next game. And also remember, City have to score in the next game. We can't sit back holding 2-1 in 90th minute. Dortmund do something. No, we have to score irrespective of whether Dortmund scores or not. We have to score. So I think Pep will go with a double pivot in the next game, or play Fernandinho as a single pivot. And the next game is on April 14, so it's not that far off. It's just 8 days away. So overall, if you ask me, I think the City really could have got that second and third goal. We were again not ruthless today. Pep Guardiola keeps on repeating in his press conferences, you have to be merciless, you have to be ruthless to progress far in this competition. And we were ruthless to an extent, especially the first goal. We took one chance and we took the goal. I was telling myself, wow, how ruthless we are. But then Foden, yes, he's a young man, youth player who's coming into the squad. Yes, the technique of getting past players and everything was good. It's just the final goal. And normally we were discussing it on this show as well in the build up to this game. Foden is normally excellent in those shooting situations. His shot is really good. And also another change I would bring to the second leg is maybe put a Raheem Sterling on and play Foden through the middle. Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Foden in the middle, and Raheem Sterling on the left hand side. It's just because of his direct running. Dortmund's fullbacks are a bit inexperienced, and a player who offers you that direct running, that direct threat is sometimes really essential, especially when you're looking to score a goal. No matter if you concede as well. And do I think Diaz Laporte will play the next game? I think so because again, I was just thinking the balance was not that good today at the centre back, especially with Haaland charging at you. The one of the reasons why Diaz suffered against Haaland today was Diaz is playing on the left, and he's a right footer. Diaz is a right footer, so it's a bit difficult, But when Laporte plays, the Diaz plays on the right and Laporte plays on the left. You have one of the best left-footed centre backs playing on the left-hand side of your defense, and one of the best right-footed centre backs playing on the right-hand side of your defense. That really restores the balance. I think Pep will do that. He'll play Diaz, Laporte, or he'll play Laporte, Stones. We'll have to see how Pep approaches the second leg and how Pep approaches the Leeds match at the weekend. That will give us an indication of what is thinking for the second leg. Overall, I would say a nervy match, a tense match. But then in the past, we maybe would have fallen short, but not now. We have learned so much, and we have come back after conceding an away goal to again score and restore the lead in the tie. So that should give us a lot of confidence. I would say a lot. That should really pump us up for the second leg. It's just that we have to believe in ourselves, and we just have to go to Dortmund and score, not caring about conceding or not, because we are playing away. So every goal we score, Dortmund have to pay twice of the price. So that's what I would say. We have to go to the second leg with belief, and believe that we can go far in this competition. I think especially at the beginning of the second half, for the first 20 minutes, it looked as if we lacked a bit of belief. Again, I was telling you, not again. We froze in a few moments, like I always say, especially in big Champions League games. We froze in a few moments. We forgot our principles. Foden was coming to get the ball. Mahrez was coming inside. There was no width. There was no out ball. The midfield was getting compressed. Marco Reus was running at our defenders. No press, nothing. But then after conceding that goal, we we really turned the screw. It's good that we didn't leave it at 1-1. We fought back, even though it was late in the game. So I hope you really have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please click on the like button and the bell icon and the subscribe button so that you get notifications whenever I come up with new videos. I'll come in front of you with the latest transfer news of regarding Manchester City, and also with the preview of our game in the weekend against Leeds. So take care and see you. It's been a good night for us.